Hi everyone, this is Selena Kraus and welcome to another card video. For today's video, I'm featuring the May 2022 My Monthly Hero Kit from Hero Arts. So let's take a closer look at the kit for this month and the add-ons. So this is a card that I made using the kit, pretty much all of the elements from the kit. There is a background stamp, the background clean stamp. There is a cover die and 6 individual fancy dies. You can see they're in the middle. I haven't separated them yet. And there's also 4x6 clear stamp set with sentiments. And that's the card that I had on the block yesterday. So let's take a look at the add-ons now. This is the kitchen shelf background, and I've used it on this card that's also up on my blog today, along with the Animal Cook stamp set and die set. So next we have the 3 tags Stamp and Cut XL. So this is the stamp set, and this is the die set that should go in the same envelope, but for some reason I put them in separate envelopes. This is Kitchen Crocs Infinity dies and bottle and cork infinity dies, olive branch stamp set and coordinating dies. We have also the apron Stamp and Cut XL. That's the stamp set, and there's the apron die. We have the Excellent stamp set and coordinating dies, and we have the Kitchen Tools fancy dies. Okay, now let's move on to making the card. So I will be stamping You Bake Me Happy, and I'll stamp it in black, and then we're gonna do repetitive stamping up and down from that sentiment using the Hero Arts contour ink to give a little bit more interest to our background. So I'm stamping using the intensified black ink here. I'm stamping 3 times to have nice and saturated black color of that sentiment. So before I move on to stamping with the contour ink, because it's very pale gray, I'm cleaning my stamp. I'll set that aside to dry, and while that dries, to make sure that I'm not having that cleaner onto my background, I pulled apart the pie and the cupcake individual dies from the die set, and I'm cutting them out from the new Hero Arts Smooth Deluxe cardstock. So I'll cut them a few times. I need 4 cupcakes and 2 pies. I'll be using 2 cupcakes and 1 pie, but I will layer them up to add a little bit more sturdiness to those die cuts. So I'm cutting those a few times. I already had pre-cut before I started the video, 1 cupcake and 1 pie. So I'm cutting 3 more of each. And I'll have extra pies for later use. And I'm using here, if you can see, I have here the new Hero Arts compact cutter, and it's amazing. Okay, so moving to my cardstock now. 1 1/4 square, each square is 1/4 inch, and stamping a couple times using the contour ink, and you can see already how that pattern forms in the background. So because this main stamped image, not image but sentiment, was towards the bottom, and my cardstock would have gone out of my MISTI, I repositioned that stamp and continued stamping. I used that black sentiment to use as a guide for repositioning my stamp. So I'm just repeating the same sentiment, moving my cardstock 1 1/2 squares down. First I did up, now I'm doing down, and we're almost done here. Okay, so we have that background done. I will set that aside and move on to coloring the pie and the cupcakes. I'm using alcohol-based markers. In this case, I'm using my Copic markers to color them, but you can use any coloring medium of your choice. If you decide to use watercolor, uh, please die cut those, at least the top layers, from watercolor paper, because you will have a much better effect, and you can move those watercolors better on watercolor paper. So I'm using combinations of cool colors or aqua colors and purple, and also some browns for the pie, inside of the pie and the top of the cupcakes. I assume those were not the cupcakes but muffins. I assume those were chocolate muffins. I think that pie looks good. Now let's move on to coloring the cupcakes. The muffins. I apologize, I keep calling them cupcakes, but you can make them whatever you want them to be. So for the pie, I use the E33, E31, and E30. And for the muffins, I'm using the E29, E27, and E25. I use BG13, BG11, and BG10 for the pie plate. And I'm using the VO9, VO6, VO5, and VO4 for the bottom of the muffins. Like that, the muffin holder or the little muffin cups. Okay, I think we're almost done here. And we have our, just adding a little bit of color in those white edges there. Okay, so now we're gonna stack those to add a little bit more sturdiness. I'm just using one additional die cut. You can add more if you want more dimension, but I will use some foam squares to adhere those to my card panel. Okay, before we adhere them to the card panel, I'm trimming this background to 4 by 5 1/4. I'm using here my new Here Arts reverse tweezers to hold these little die cuts and adhere them to my card. Okay, now to finish off the panel, I'm adding some pull and purple enamel dots to coordinate with the muffins and the pie. Okay, now I'm adding 3 layers of heavyweight cardstock. You can use any scrap cardstock that you have. Doesn't need to be new one. It can be already stamped, or you are gonna toss in the trash, or you can just use foam tape or craft foam. But I like using a stack of cardstock to add dimension and sturdiness. To finish off the card, I cut a piece of Paradise cardstock. This is 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2 to create top folding note card, and I just adhere that panel to it to finish off my card. So here's a closer look at both of the cards, one from yesterday that was on my blog, and the one we just made from this using the same kit, and this is one of the cards that I made using the add-ons. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any videos, and then click on that bell button so you're always notified when I have a new video up. Thanks for watching. Bye!